2, 1. Looks like we're live. Is everything happy? Yes. Okay, great deal.
Yes.
So we're a little early this evening, but welcome to the Voyage of the Ardent Citadel. We have one jump to complete to our refueling system, and then I was going to do a quick tutorial for folks on how to mine. And hopefully that won't take all that long, but I wanted to get it knocked out early because, I'm an old man. I want to sleep. So, all right. So we're going to first, and everybody's cleared me. They've said they're not running for the carrier right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get us going. All right. Actually, let me get that system name copied. Where it's up here. Let's see. Dangerous. Yeah, that's it. And the name of the system is there. Here we go.
Having Discord and the stream on at the same time gets very.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine. All right, so we're going to go here. Fleet carrier. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do, I drove old Markus out there to the system that we're thinking about, and scanned it, and I'm told that is what we need to be able to pick a destination instead of the star. I'm not necessarily going to park us over that gas giant because it's no fun, but there were like two water worlds orbiting each other that I thought would be pretty cool to park over. See if we can manage it. All right. It looks hopeful. We got a system view here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, was this the system of the two water worlds, or was that someplace else? Give me info about it first. Description: terrestrial water world. That is it. Okay, great. So I want to park over the moon because the primary was pretty big, but the moon was a terraformable candidate. Come on now. It's fighting me.
So if nothing else for anybody, there's probably 500,000 credits in the system.
Yes, exactly. Hypo XR B21 4A. Look at that. So that's the moon. That's where we're wanting to go. Yes, please. Let's see what that gives us. Okay. In theory, that's where we're going to land. I'm kind of curious to see what this looks like.
Oh, is this just an ability of the carriers?
As we've been jumping along, we've been jumping into systems that haven't been explored, or at least not by us. And that means that the carrier doesn't know, enough about the system to offer the opportunity to land in different places. But if you are jumping into a system that you already have a map of, you can tell the carrier, I want to go here within that system, rather than just the default, nose to the star, or bottom to the star in our case, very often.
Right.
So gotcha. We'll see. It did accept 4A as the destination, and we will see what happens. The reason I didn't park over the gas giant is it's way out there. It's dark. It's not much to look at. And frankly, what we're doing when we start mining, it's going to take a while to fill up, the big ships. So there are not going to be many trips back and forth. There are going to be many trips back and forth, but the interval between them will be big enough that jog to 4A back to 12 is not going to seem so bad. So, but we'll work that out later. And my plan is Saturday morning to just get in and start mining. And if anybody else joins me, that's great. And if not, okay, I'll do what I can.
Left behind.
Yeah. So, but we got we ain't going nowhere unless we fill the tanks. So it's a thing you got to do.
Ow.
Ow?
Well,
Owl's not good.
What? Ow?
I just got blown up.
Blown? What? Where? What? And
I
what?
figured since I was in Stowe, I would go ahead and run a
Oh, okay. Right.
pick up some fleet marks.
I'm actually mining dilithium, so
Getting blown up in Stowe is kind of our pastime. That's kind of how that works. Oh man. So
where's it at? Lithium mining claim VIP customer.
there you go. Break in those crystals.
Ooh. It allows one mining attempt to reach the lithium vein and attach toward mining field. Ooh. That's nice. Yes, please.
I didn't see many screenshots this week, so I don't know if folks were out and about.
I was going to look to see if I could find a screenshot, but of course I'm back in the bubble, so it's probably not as interesting.
Oh, there are plenty of interesting screenshots back in the bubble. So seriously, anything interesting you find, you go ahead and share it. We'll give proper attribution.
I'll be able to look at. I got. I've been messing around with my Type 6.
Yep. Now, what do you have it kitted for? What are you doing with it?
Space trucking.
Yep.
Within 2 days, I've managed to get like 7 million credits. So.
Yeah, it does well. And it's surprisingly fast if you need to get away from somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can boost away and hit jump and say, see ya.
It's been pretty good. But I mean, it's been real beneficial for, like you said, the money, because now I can, well, for starters, I upgraded it. Now what I'm earning is going to go towards upgrading my Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been pretty good.
So,
We
are on our way.
At the moment, I think I can upgrade it a little bit more. I think I was looking. Storage will max out at like a little over 100, maybe.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
At the moment, I got it at like 96. Baby steps.
Baby steps. I don't recall if I'd mentioned, but the Type 6 is actually a good pocket explorer, too. If you strip it down and set it up for exploration, it has a very respectable jump range.
I looked at at that actually. What was it? The name of the site, Coriolis, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody had an exploration build. I think it had like a jump range in the 50 light years, I think.
That was my first Explorer, actually, a Type 6. I went out to the Witch Head Nebula and back. It's about 1,000 light years out. It was a fine little ship. You don't need all that much in a ship for exploration, except for lightweight and great jump range, and it worked out great.
Right.
I think that was the one I had before the Asp Explorer, and that kept that one for like 2 years. So
I figured that's probably what I will swap it to once I get comfortable with the upgrades that I've available with the Cobra and stuff.
no,
Uh,
that sounds good. Yeah, the Explorer is a really good ship. That's the one that Galubi's been using.
oh yeah,
So it's all good. It's good stuff. Thank you, Carl. He didn't even look up from his tablet to say that. Oh my gosh.
I actually got a little miffed earlier. I was doing my daily, one of my daily jumps to earn some money,
No,
and
you don't.
jumped into system and got to the station. It's like, I need to land, and they said, sorry, denied. What? Yeah, sorry, you can't land. Um, but but I sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple of ways around that. I don't know if these tricks work still, but though actually. So if you arrive at station and there's no other reason, like you're wanted or something, they deny it, and they simply are full.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, then one way is to wait. Somebody's going to leave eventually.
Yeah.
But you can also log out of the session, come back in a different game mode, like
Mm-hmm.
open or solo or what have you, and
Right.
you in essence get a different version of that station that may not be full.
Right.
So that's that. In the old days, that was the way around it. If you were impatient. On the other hand, it's a good opportunity to just throttle back and go grab a coffee and just say okay.
I just waited, and I sit there, and I was looking at some other stuff. I looked through Galnet and see if there's anything interesting going on, and
Yeah, exactly.
and then I just kind of kept my eyes out, and I said, oh, somebody just left. Oh, can I land now? Sure, granted. Oh, okay. So, wasn't too bad.
And just let somebody else wait now. So that works out.
Yeah.
The advantages of not being in a hurry.
Yep. Yep. Ooh, 8,000 to lithium. All right. Field. Yeah.
Glad I'm not playing on Elite or something.
What happened?
They're camping the spawn point.
Oh.
Oh.
Is it that same mission we did before?
It's the one with the spores on the Doomsday machine.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That.
I get attacked before I even get in.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of to do in that case is, at the respawn prompt, just let it count down, and maybe they'll wander off.
Ooh, more dilithium? Funny.
What are you doing, buddy?
Can't find any more today, so.
Soon we will find ourselves elsewhere.
Uh, Matthew. Ah. Wow, you're on candid camera.
Come
I
on.
watched the pod of when you were going out searching for places to mine.
Mhm.
There was a couple of interesting things that I was like you. I remember when you first jumped into that one system. I was like, "Was that the Dipper?"
Yeah, and I'm sure that it was one of the two things. It was just a star, a random pattern of stars off in the distance that spread out as I jumped again.
Yeah,
Or two, it was a bug, because I did notice that for whatever reason it was rendering the moons and planet for one of the contacts in the FSS below the actual contact location in the FSS.
yeah. It
So,
was skewed. It was skewed off a little.
right, and that was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, if that was happening with like a collection of something else, then okay, I see what's going on. But we're in a kind of a pretty dense star cluster out here. There are lots of Fs and Bs, and those, yeah, they make you think constellation all the time when you're just staring at the black all day. Oh, wow, that's a pattern.
Right.
I don't think there was anything to that cluster.
No.
I tried for a while to make it, but nah.
But it was just interesting because, like I said, you just kind of jumped in, and I just happened to glance and notice it when you jumped in. I was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, what the hell is that? But that said, that is what some star clusters look like. I remember looking at. Don't remember which nebula it was, but it had like a chain of stars behind it. Because the nebula is moving and it's forming stars, and the stars are going one way and the nebula is going another.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was like a giant comet, with the head of the comet being the nebula and the tail being all the stars, right?
Right.
And you see that stuff, and that I was kind of hoping that's what it was. There we go.
All right, I got my bonus fleet marks. I think I'm done for the day.
There you go.
Yeah, I dumped about $8,000 lithium on the special project. So
See how much I.
found a reward I had that gave me 10 rich claims to mine a rich dilithium vein.
Cool. All right, let's see what it did. Let's see if it's parked us near those water worlds. That'd be pretty cool if we get a good sight. Fishing trip.
But on that first one,
Yeah. Can't land the whole carrier, though, yeah.
everybody says.
All right, let's see what we got. Gonna stand up here. You would let me? Oh, there it is. Look at that. Look up.
Oh,
Sweet. So that's the moon of the primary. It's the smaller of the two above us, and I really couldn't tell you where the primary is. Let's get down there and take a look.
the primary had what, an ammonia atmosphere? Was that what it was?
It did. That's
Yeah.
right. And this one did not. This one had water-based life on it. It was, like I say, terraforming candidate. So that's why I wanted to park here.
Right.
Yeah, because that's if we're gonna go fishing, that's where we're going fishing. I'm not going to an ammonia world to go fishing. Hell, that's for Thargoids.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we got to look around some. And there's our star off in the distance, nice and pearly.
Hmm.
I don't remember. I think it was just a single star in this system.
Think so.
Yep. Well, when I get out in the shovel, we'll find that other water world. All right. Oh, I see. Otis has joined us. We'll take a peek over here and see it. The one thing to note is that because we are in an orbit, as time goes on, our position changes. So we're going to orbit around this thing, and we're orbiting the big thing. Oh, we can see this little star from here. Yeah, I can't. It's either below us or such and such. So let me see here. I don't know where Otis is, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump in my mining ship, and I'll do my demo.
How to mine.
How to mine.
Ram the asteroid until it blows into bits.
That's right.
Okay.
That's basically correct, yeah. That's the Connie.
Yeah, that takes up a little bit more room than all three of my ships combined.
Okay, so let's switch to... Here we go. So for today's demo, I have a Type 9. Fitted for mining. Alright.
Shovel.
Hell, it looks like a shovel, and that's what we're doing today, right? So, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, what you doing, buddy? Captain Oracle woke up from a nap.
I'm hoping that, that my name of my Type 6 helps me because I have been scanned a couple of times and I never did get attacked. The name of my ship is Flotsam.
Yeah. All right. So first thing is the fit. What do you need to actually mine? Pardon me. I'm gonna close the skirt a bit. All right.
I think it does look like a shovel.
Okay. So here we go. Now, what you can fit will depend on your ship. The carrier does carry basic equipment necessary for mining. Some of which you're going to see here. It does not carry larger cargo racks, so unless you already have them someplace, But I'll show you what we got. Where's my fit? There we go. Okay, the cat wants the mouse. Let me have the mouse, please. Let me have the mouse, please. Thank you. Got to shove him over.
Hello, Otis.
Yeah.
Hello.
Otis, hello. How's it going?
It's going.
Excellent. We've jumped to the system. We're in orbit around one of two co-orbiting water worlds in that system. And I was about to give a quick little demo on stream about mining, because I'll switch this over to the YouTube thing for the others to watch later. So here we go. This is the Type 9 is a large ship, so again, your mileage may vary, but the principle is the same. First thing you need for the type of mining we're doing, we're not doing anything special. Tritium, you can get tritium from subsurface deposits and such like that, but we probably don't want to futz with it. So the primary, most important thing you need is a mining laser. The most mining lasers, the bigger the better. They have these are not standard mining lasers that I have on the shovel here. These are mining lances, something that you can get from Power Play. But standard mining laser has a 500 meter range, so you got to be up close and personal. And what happens is you fire away at it, and as you're firing, it just knocks off chunks of whatever is in that asteroid. That's the purpose of the laser, is to remove important stuff from the asteroid that you can pick up later. Fit it, one or two to your ship. There's probably no benefit in getting more than that because it's a heavy drain on your capacitor. So if you can manage two at once, the bigger the better. The faster you're going to knock out chunks from the asteroid, go for it. But that's the important thing. If you ever have a big ship, you might play with these other things because we do have them available. Ablation blasters and subsurface displacement, but I'm not going to go into it too much. Don't really need anything special. And, your utility mounts, just your normal stuff, whatever you want to put in there. Pulse wave analyzer is useful for a certain type of mining. It's not going to be something we're worried about tonight. All right. Core internal, you can't really do much with that out here in the carrier where we're at, so you're stuck with it. Here we go. This is the business end. Optional. Okay, so if you have it, detailed surface scanner is good to have if you can get one. The reason is that's what's going to tell us where these hotspots are. We have to go up to the gas giant and scan the ring using that, and the hotspots are revealed. And then you can dive in and do whatever you need to do. All right. Important thing. You need a refinery right here. The purpose of the refinery is, I can't get out of this view to show you, but it acts as an additional limited cargo hold. The size of the refinery determines the number of slots. And within those slots, what happens is each chunk that you shave off of an asteroid has a certain amount of material in it. And it's not always just one type of material. It might be 10% tritium and 30% something else that's worthless. So what happens is when you collect that material, and how you collect it I'll go into in a moment, it's brought aboard the ship and it goes into the refinery and split. And the refinery takes and applies however much of the material was in that fragment into the bin corresponding to the fragment that it's building. And when it fills up 1 ton worth of the thing, it dumps that whole ton in your cargo hold. And that's the refining process. So there are a couple of ways to focus that, but we'll get to that when we're actually out there in the field. That's need a refinery if you're going to actually be collecting the fragments. You don't necessarily need to. If you're a small ship, you don't have a lot of space anyway, for cargo. So probably your best role is as a prospector and another guy with a mining laser that can create these fragments, and you don't even worry about having a refinery or gathering the stuff. But if you are going to be gathering refinery, you need it. Next thing that you need is this guy, collector.
Good old mining sidewinders.
Yeah, you need collector limpets. If you do not have collector limpets, you're going to be spending all night dancing around trying to scoop up fragments in your cargo hold, and that is no fun. The thing about collector limpets is they just go out and get it. If they're close enough, they don't care. Say, oh, hey, there's fragment. And they just zip off and grab it and bring it back. So collector limpet controllers have a couple of important stats. One is how many limpets they can control simultaneously. The more, the better. The second is how long the range, rather, of those limpets. There's also a time factor. The limpets don't last forever. But yeah, collector limpets. They're the little worker bees that are going to go out there and grab the stuff and shove it into your cargo hold for the refinery to do its thing. Next thing you need, and I actually don't have the exact thing, but here we go, is a prospector limpet controller. I've got this. This is kind of a specialized version of it, but it does the same thing. The prospector limpet controller fires limpets that attach to an asteroid and scans it. And it gives you a couple of things. You can then target the limpet that's attached to the asteroid, and it will report back the components in that asteroid. If there's no tritium in an asteroid, there's no sense in us even bothering with it. So we just move on to the next. The other thing it does is if there is tritium in that asteroid and we want to shave off chunks to refine, it doubles the yield. And here's the cool thing. The game does not keep track of the number of chunks in an asteroid. So that if player A comes along and fully depletes an asteroid, player B can still come along and fully deplete that asteroid with a full set of chunks. And the more players you have, you're essentially multiplying the yield of that asteroid by the number of players you have. And then you have a prospector limpet attached to it. It only takes one. You double that. So it quickly builds up the more players that you have trying to do this simultaneously. And again, as I said, you don't necessarily need to be the guy doing the refining. You know, you can just be some guy with a mining laser peeling off chunks and leave it to the shovel to go and grab all the chunks out there, just with all of its, like half dozen collector limpets that are going to be out there. All right, so that's the primary things. The other thing is, if you're going to be refining and gathering, is you need cargo space. Lots of cargo space. The more the better. Because this is two things. You need to carry limpets with you to the field. Don't forget your limpets. Number two, you need to bring the results back to the ship. So cargo space is important. That's it in a nutshell. Everything else is, your standard stuff. I got a shield on this thing because, by the way, driving into a rock will kill you. The rocks don't care. And they're much tougher than you are, so avoid the rocks. That's why shields are handy. You can maybe survive a little brief encounter and maneuver away. All right, just the normal other stuff, the docking computer, etc., etc. So that's it. All right, so that was that. Let me show you some of the other things. I know C asked a couple of questions specifically. I'm going to go to the For menu, the systems menu on the right. And under fire groups, here's how you manage fire groups. All right, you see I've got a whole bunch of fire groups set up. Normally, you just start off with one. If you need another one, you can use your, WASD controls, or it's different for control or whatever it is. To go over to plus, like I have here, and then up and down to select an item, and then hit space to add that item to primary or secondary fire. You only have those two options, primary 1, secondary 2. So this is a typical setup for a mining ship. What I've done here is I have in this first fire group set, all of my mining lances bound together, so I can fire all three of them at once. And then I have collector limpets as the secondary because I can replenish the collector limpets as they expire. So that's that. That's the purpose of that. Number two is what I do to scan down the actual hotspots. I need access to the surface scanner. So that's all that is. Number three is the prospector. And there we go. So we're seeing it... primary is the prospector limpet, and the way that works is the prospector limpet is dumbfire. It's like a dumbfire missile. It just drops out of your cargo hold and goes straight ahead for about 5 kilometers until it hits something. So you need to be pointing at the asteroid that you want it to attach to, fire, wait, and you'll hear it pew, 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 off it goes. And then you can continue to maneuver and do your thing. And it continues on its way. Target it whenever it hits the asteroid to see what it found. But the general idea is that you just hit left and right, A and D, to go between these fire groups, up and down to go up and down between the items, and hit space to assign a fire control, and that's basically it for fire groups. All right. Now under refining, here, if you have a refinery, you'll have an additional option here under your inventory, and here it is. This refinery has 9 hot bins, is what they're called. A bin is automatically allocated for a new type of material that comes aboard. If you don't have enough bins and a new type of material comes aboard, then that stuff's lost. So I'm going to show you how to filter out what you actually pick up. We'll do that when we get into the field. Right now, I just have some leftover stuff from a previous mining mission. If you have something in a bin that you don't want, you see this, I'm just going up and down here on the right, you can eject it. Just, boom, it's gone. Boom, it's gone. But I want to keep the tritium. So, and you see how it says tritium, 25%, 29%. What that's saying is it's 0.29 tons that it's collected in that bin. And when it gets to 100%, 1 ton, that whole ton gets sent over to inventory as a unit of tritium. So that's the math that's going on here. All right, so I think we're ready to go. All right, so where we're going in system is 12. Actually, let me bring up the system map for that. All right. Lots of interesting stuff in this system, but way out here, by its lonesome, is the one we're interested in. All right, like so. By the way, there's a moon of that with its own rings. Interesting to check out. Be careful landing. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go out there. Pardon me. Let me make sure I got everything I need from here. We've dumped all of our cargo. I have a little bit of tritium. I need limpets. Do not forget your limpets. All right, so here's where you get limpets. In the carrier view here, carrier services, advanced maintenance is where they're hidden. And you'll see them right here. Second up from the bottom, restock limpets. Hit space. Purchase. They're cheap. Just fill up the cargo hold. They're super cheap. They're disposable. If you don't need some, your cargo hold's filling up with tritium, which is a wonderful problem to have. You just jettison some of these, and you won't cry about it. 64,000 credits. I know. Maybe some of our newcomers might, but still, that's what it took to fill up this ship. It's not going to take that much to fill up others. So, there we go.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
All right. So we're carrying 640 limpets, or 640 tons of limpets. And fully fueled, fully repaired. Let's go.
I really appreciate the explanation of the refinery and how the bands work stuff, because I've watched some other videos about the mining, but they didn't go into detail about the bands and how all that worked.
Mm-hmm. It's a slick system. I mean, it's easy to get once you've heard that explanation. For our purposes, we don't need so many bins because we're just getting tritium, so it just can be one bin over and over again, right? All right, so let's take a look. Oh, hello. There's another person out here. Who could that be? Who could that be? Otis D. Blake. The infamous. The dastardly. What's he driving today? A crate. Oh, dangerous. Hey, look at this guy. So since you're here, Otis, I'm going to team you up. And we need to demo the fleet, the team beacon and stuff like that. So how people can find each other. Watch out, cat. Not there. Don't put your head on that. Crazy cat. He's self-destruct or something. All right.
Dump all cargo.
Yeah. All right, so let me find him. Here he is. Okay. He's in local. I'm going to invite the team. You want to keep him in his own ship. So this is one of two ways that you can find where the rest of the group is. You can have teams of up to 3, right? I think it is 3 or 4.
I think
Yeah. And if
3 plus you.
okay, so 4 total. Having a team of 4, that's all we have. This part's very easy. So when a ship drops out or enters Super Cruise, the ship leaves behind two types of wakes, a low wake or a high wake. You've probably seen them, all over the place. A low wake is a low power transition between Super Cruise and real space, meaning you're just going into like system cruise. A high wake is a high power transition. That's where you're actually going interstellar to a whole different system. That's the difference between a low wake and a high wake. Whenever you drop out of Super Cruise, you leave a low wake behind in Super Cruise that other people can locate and approach like any other target. And if they get close enough, within 1,000 kilometers, 1 megameter, they can drop out and they'll be right on top of you. And that's how people find other people using low wakes. There's a second way to do that if you're in a team. Teams have a beacon. And we'll start with turning mine on. That is over here in the ship menu. If I remember this right, it's been a while. There's my team beacon. Hyperspace, rotational, autodock, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there it is. Right down here. Team beacon. Okay? So what that means is when Otis has the same setting, he can change it. When I drop out of Super Cruise, not only do I leave a low wake, but I have a beacon that will survive the low wake, because wakes don't stick around forever, maybe a minute or two. So that he can still find me after several minutes, even though I don't have a low wake for him to focus in on. And we might. Do you have a detailed surface scanner on your crate there?
I can go buy the one off my DBX real quick.
Yeah, because what I think we ought to do is have you scan out the hotspots and pick a spot for us to go mine, and then I'll demo what the beacon looks like on stream, and we can just go and do that.
Let me get my controls reoriented. Got on the game and all my control presets have been erased.
What's the deal with that? It's you and E. You and E both have had that.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
sitting on that right now.
I'm gonna clear the carrier. I want to see what this other water world is actually. But yeah, this is what we're orbiting right now. It's pretty. Lots of weather down there.
7 days in May.
Yeah.
Movie.
As for the other one, it's a good question. Maybe it's actually I can target it. Yeah, let's target it and we'll see. It'll tell us. Oh, it's behind us. Okay, I get it. Let me flip over and see what we see. There it is. Oh yeah. Like the carrier is about to eat it up, right?
Waka waka.
Waka waka.
Welcome.
But as I said, we're orbiting. We're in this orbital dynamic now. So check back later, and the view will have changed. We'll be at some different position around this this moon here. Hard to call it a moon, given what it is. and no telling, what the view will look like, because they may align, and we'll just see what it looks like later. It's pretty cool stuff.
Like a couple
Let's
of
see
interesting
here.
storms.
The shovel isn't much to look at. It's just a mining ship. But as for this guy, well, can't really see much in terms of any sort of land down there. It might just be completely covered in water.
Tall Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Let's see here. I've been playing long enough. I don't think I need Super Cruise Assist.
Oh,
I'll just-
easy. I keep it.
I'll just swap that out for my detailed surface scanner. Wherever it went. Let's see here. Surface scanners. I guess I made the right call bringing one of these along the way with me.
Yeah, you can't buy one from the carrier. That's a bug. But you can store one that you have and then put it on another ship, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Advanced maintenance. Go ahead and throw a few limpets on myself.
Okay, yeah, we see Blake is on the move. So we're headed to, you may need to scan the system if you're just here. But we're headed to gas giant number 12 whenever you're ready to depart that way.
Alright. Now let's... I don't want to drop landing gear. I want to pull my hard points in.
Details.
Alright, so which one are we going to again?
Number 12. Which is, I'm trying to orient on it. Way over here. Okay. 2,000, nearly 3,000 light seconds from here. Bit of a drive, but parking around the water worlds, I think, was totally worth it. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and head that direction.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And because I am lazy,
I just realized something.
what's that?
Oh, wait. Never mind.
It's not good?
No, everything's fine.
Okay. And the other thing I guess I need to mention is because we have a mix of commanders with the Horizons client and the Odyssey client, in order to get everybody in on the same mining op, we all want to launch in the Horizons client when we actually go do this thing for real. So that was my plan on Saturday, is to download the Horizons client and have it up and running. so I can interact with like Seraph and see if he's able to join us and that sort of thing.
Sounds like a plan.
If we do get a group, we will take some pictures.
You have questions in chat.
I do. Okay. How is Captain Oracle? Oh no, Captain Oracle D. God's in space. He's fine. I mean, check him out. He's right here, and he's just napping up a storm. And I don't know if you can see it off of my right shoulder over there, but he has a new palace to play with that he's been really wearing out. One of those multi-level cat toys. So it goes back to the thing about him being, well, dejected because I'm in there working and I'm not playing with him. So I got something for him to play with, and he seems to like it. But right now, yeah, he seems to be doing great. He's just kind of chilling. He's not going to participate in the mining up. That is beneath him.
I made an interesting discovery over the past couple of days.
What's that?
I've discovered that when you open up the cardboard sleeve that a Toblerone comes in, and if you just take the cardboard sleeve itself and blow into it, it works like a party favor.
Harmonics is a wonderful thing.
Indeed it is. I'll use it as my victory chime for whenever we find fuel.
That's right. Okay, so we're approaching this thing. I'll let us get pretty close before I turn that off. I'm going to go ahead and demo how to use the DSS to find the hotspots, but then we'll let Otis actually go to the overlap spot, and then I'll try to follow him in. Big gas giant ahead of us. Turn this off. And you see, it's dark. I promise you, there's a gas giant right in front of us. It's just really dark. We're so far away from the star.
Yeah, the rings were barely visible.
Yeah, I'm really actually quite concerned about that. If it becomes too much of a problem, there are other tritium spots in system we can visit.
You can see the rings when you silhouette them against the Milky Way.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so there we go. So there we go. And what I'm done is I've activated the DSS. I just moved the reticle out long enough so it indicated I'm firing at the ring. It just takes one probe to scan the whole ring, and done. There it is. So let's see if we still have an overlap. I think that's going to be it over there.
Sweet, that works for me too.
All right, and we've got 3. Yeah, that's what Gluby found. There they are. So let's head over that way and show you what this overlap looks like. It's actually not the best overlap in the world, but it is one. So these 3 that you can see on screen are all tritium deposits, and you see where 2 of them merge. And it's that merge point that we want to target. All right, Otis, if you'll do the honors. And what Otis is going to do, he's just going to drive into it, probably.
On my way.
And I'll just stay here and monitor and see what we get.
So aim right in the middle of the hot spots we are.
Yeah, where they touch.
Pump the brakes and going in.
Alrighty, cool. He'll disappear whenever he transitions out of Super Cruise.
And here we go.
And there he is. So I wanted to show first, that's the beacon. That's the signal that you'll get. If you're in the same team, he has his beacon turned on. You can head towards that, drop there, and you'll drop on top of him.
I should have my beacon turned on. Yep.
Yeah, I see it. And if you're not in the same group, you have a couple of minutes, but you'll also see a low wake. And that low wake operates the same way. It's like a signal, a signal source that you can approach and drop on top of, and all is well. So here I go. I'm going to try to head towards exactly the same spot that he's at and use the beacon to do it. Try not to hit the ring before I get to the beacon's point. There it is.
That's always the fun part.
There it is.
Whoa!
You need to move away, man.
I did. I guess
God.
the point followed me.
It does. Well, yeah.
Hello there.
Hello. Okay. So that would have been tragic. Okay. So here we go. It's not as terribly bad as I was fearing. So, but still, we probably want to use the mining in the dark. Miners in the dark, like Bill was saying the other day. Tactics, and there are two of them. First off, and let me get the external view so you see what I'm doing here. Turn on your lights.
Let's see here.
Has headlights.
I just turned mine back off.
Yeah. And you see I'm flashing them there. Right? By having them on, what that's going to do for you is, as you approach an asteroid, if you get too close, you'll begin to see the reflection of your lights. And that gives you an indication of the range to the asteroid. So leave your lights on as you're mining in the dark, right? The second thing that's very handy, you don't necessarily need it all the time, but let me go back to the normal view, is night vision. Every ship has night vision. You may need to select the hotkey for it, but you see it corrects all the problem that we were having. Boom, hey, bunch of asteroids here. So if it gets to be dangerous, turn on night vision, and that'll help you move around some. But we'll try to do this without night vision. So all this down here, these are all icy asteroids. They're all icebergs. So I'm going to approach one of them and show you how the prospector limpet works. Now, in Elite, you cannot target asteroids. You can shoot at them, but they're not valid targets. So that's another problem with range. You can't always tell that you're too close to one. It's hard to judge their size, and believe me, they are much larger than you are.
You could shoot them, you can hit them, you could admire them from afar, but you cannot target them with your ship's computers.
That's right. Okay. Now, I'm going to go all shields as I'm approaching, because I'm not in a hurry to die, and I'm just not in a hurry at all. So here we go. We got one. I just picked one at random that's right in front of us. I'm going to deploy my hard points. Okay. I'm going to select the group that has the Prospector Limpet. You see it primary on the right. And I'm going to point at the asteroid I'm interested in and fire. 3, 2, 1. Now it's away. It takes it a while. Next thing is target in front of you. So you're targeting that limpet. And wait a moment, and it will latch onto that rock and report its findings. That rock may have been much further away than I thought. Okay, so there it is. You see it on the left. It says this is not a suitable target for us. It doesn't have any tritium in it at all. Okay, so what we will do is we'll move on to the next. Another trick is you need to pick a direction to go, because you can easily get turned around and just go in circles. You know, one possibility is to head towards a hotspot, because that marker will stay there. We don't really have the gas giant in view, or at least easily viewable. That's not a good landmark. And the Milky Way, though, is a great landmark. Look at that. This big bright ribbon right through the asteroid field. Yeah, so we're going to head towards the Milky Way. What I'm saying there is that as I fire off prospectors, and I don't like that asteroid, I'm going to turn towards the Milky Way and truck past that asteroid and fire off another one. Oh, and see the lights. See? Otis is getting a little close.
Yeah.
This one has no tritium in it, so it's not suitable. So we continue on. Tritium is I wouldn't call it rare, but it's not exactly common. And very good deposits of it are even less so. So how about this one? Off it goes. Now, as you fire off limpets, prospectors, and you meet or exceed the capacity of the controller, the old limpets will blow up. So this is important to note. If we're doing a group mining operation, don't blow up the limpet until everybody's finished scraping the rock. This one has no tritium, so we will continue. You're not going to run out of rocks, so don't sweat it. If you're not having luck in one spot, just keep on trucking, because eventually you'll find what you need. All right, that one's getting a little, so I'm going to rotate a bit. Yeah, don't want that sneaking up on me. Okay, none there.
Nothing in this one.
So we continue. Oh, that one's way off in the distance. That's not going to work. And you could actually be firing off multiple prospectors at once, but I'm just trying to demo what we're doing here. Just want to find one with... There we... That's what we're looking for, right there. Okay, so what is this telling us? All right, so we're going to approach that one. That's going to be our target. And fortunately, you keep the prospector targeted, because that's an easy way to track the asteroid that you found, right? So we'll just keep it going. All right, and I'm going to slow down. At 2 kilometers, big ships take a while to slow down. So yeah, good idea to just stop. And we'll talk about what we're about to do. Okay, so what you're seeing on the left there is tritium, yay, and it's saying tritium 28%. What the hell does that mean? That means that each chunk that it shaves off will fill up 28% of one bin. So it's
people
like
aren't seeing that because your camera's over it.
Oh, shoot. Well, anyway, take my word for it. On the lower left, you're seeing a display that indicates it says minerals remaining 100%, tritium 28%, mineral content medium. The tritium 28% simply means that each chunk is 0.28 tons of tritium. So that means you're going to need 3-ish chunks to fill up a full bin, 1 ton of tritium. The medium, where it's at material content medium, is a general indication of how many chunks you're going to get, which is, kind of average. Average could be 20 chunks, so that means that we might get 3 or 4 tons of tritium out of this thing with a single player, but we have 2. So that means we're going to double the yield right off the bat. So first thing I got to do is, as the guy that's going to be gathering up cargo stuff, open up your cargo hold. Cargo
deployed.
All right, cargo scoop deployed. Without a target, and this is important, deselect your target. Start launching collector limpets. If you have a target when you launch a collector, the collector will go grab that target and then self-destruct. But if you do not have a target when you launch a collector, it will go after everything for as long as it can. Anything it can gobble up. So here we go. I'm just going to launch a bunch of collectors.
Programming limpet drone.
And what will happen is, and I'll show the external view here in a moment.
Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
All right.
Proceed to limpet. Failed.
Yeah, and I can do a few more, but that's good enough for the demo. So what this looks like on the outside is you now have some little followers. You gotta zoom out a bit. Now where the hell are those suckers?
Oh, I think I just saw them silhouetted against the asteroid.
Normally they just hang out. Oh, I see them. They're not active, so watch out, cat. Watch out, cat. So here they are. They're just hanging out beneath the ship, right? Yeah, very dark. When chunks start flying, they go get them if you're close enough. So now, let's get close enough. Remember, as I said, your typical laser range is 0.5 kilometer. It's longer in the shovel here because of those mining lances, but I'm going to go ahead and approach. I want to show you what it looks like when your lights start illuminating this thing. And that kind of gives you an idea. Okay, maybe that's close enough. You also get kind of a vague idea about your distance from the prospector limpet. But remember, the prospector limit is tied to some side of the asteroid. The asteroid's tumbling. So that's not the true range between the nearest surface. There, you see it? Starting to get bright. That is my lights beginning to illuminate that asteroid. So that's probably a good indication you're close enough. Fire.
Programming limpet drone.
Well, maybe not that one. Okay. Here we go. Fire. Now, as you're firing, chunks will begin to be shaved off of this thing. And there, you see them? They just took off my collectors.
Taking heat damage. Asteroid scan complete.
Okay. I have to watch these mining lances on the shovel because they generate quite a bit of heat. And you saw I shifted over to all weapons. That kind of helps that situation. So as you're shaving off, what you can't see is that minerals remaining is going down. And pretty soon it will say minerals remaining 0. Asteroid depleted, but it's not depleted for Otis. Otis can continue firing at it and get his own set of stuff. So, next thing to show, under contacts, you'll see that we have all that tritium. Each one of those fragments shows up as its own little contact. Oh yeah, and by the way, you see materials. Yeah, this is another way that you pick up materials for engineering, is doing this stuff. So you just kind of sit back and let the collectors do their work. And I'm going to throw out another collector here to help them out. Remember, the more collectors, the better. They make it go faster. And I see Otis is still firing over there.
Okay, where's that prospector? Let me hit it.
So you see what's happening here on the refinery is I'll just sit here for a moment and let it pick up some more tritium. A chunk comes in, we get about 30%. Okay. No, it's actually 28%, so that's about right. Another chunk comes in, boom, there we go. So we just refined a ton. And each time it does it, it takes the excess, sticks it in another bin, and the loop continues. And round we go. 3 tons so far. If we come across an asteroid whose chunks have more than one sort of thing in it, then you'll get chunks that say, let me see if they're in your left, fragment, tritium, comma, whatever else. You can tell your in context here, you can go to the right and you'll have an option to add the extraneous stuff to your ignore list. And the reason to do that is the extraneous stuff after that will not be refined, and you don't ever have to worry about it at all. It won't, junk won't be tossed in the bin, junk won't be tossed in your cargo hold. That way you're only getting tritium. You just build up that ignore list over time. All right, so let's see how we're doing. So I'm going to head over to Otis and help him pick up his stuff, because I think he's still got some fragments over there.
Yep.
And that's the idea. The big ship is the one that can handle most of the gathering of fragments. We just need a lot of little ships to make the fragments.
Asteroid is now depleted.
Okay, great. And that means that we got 4 times the normal yield of this asteroid just by the 2 of us being here.
Let me give my cargo storage a little poke. I managed to get 6 tons so far.
Yeah, about 6 tons here as well. So 12 tons, 1 rock. And if we keep up that pace, with multiple people, the bad news is that we need something like 6,000 tons. But you see, we can manage it if we get the group going. And the other part is that we got to stick together. We can't spread out and do our own prospecting thing. We have to move as a pack and attack each asteroid as a group that we find. Alrighty, well, we've knocked 12 tons out of this hole that we got to make. So what do you think? Oh yeah. Why don't you skin the asteroid there? That's not going to leave a mark.
Nah.
He's just got normal mining lasers. He has to basically skim it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's why I went ahead and came close. The mining lances have a 2-kilometer range. These guys, so yeah, and they're very fast. All right, well that's it. Can anybody else think of any questions? Anything else that we need to explain or demo while we're here?
The material for the engineering stuff, does it go straight to your cargo hold, or is it?
Oh yeah, it goes to your ship. I mean, if you're the one gathering and you happen to pick up one of those, it's yours, and it just beep 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 beep. You have a certain maximum of each material that you can carry, but until you reach that maximum, it has no impact on the ship's performance. It's not something that you lose if the ship's destroyed. You keep your engineering stuff between ships. So yeah, it just goes straight in your cargo hold. And that's really where I've got most of my engineering elemental materials is through mining. Because as you saw, there were like 6 of them out there from that little bit of mining that we did just now. So it's good stuff. Alrighty. So when you're done, we're gonna
Expired.
see if we can find a way out of here. All right. Yeah, find a hole in the sky. Oh, hold on. Is that another rocker? Yeah, that's another rock. Hold on. I got a cat that's on my way now. What are you doing, buddy? All right. You're a good boy. Yes, sir. Two things have to happen. Retract. Come on now. Close the cargo scoop.
Scoop retracted.
And motor on out of the field without running into anything. And I'm turning on night vision just to make sure I don't do that. Okay, good. Okay, so fortunately, these fields are relatively thin. Now you can see the limpets. You're just kind of hanging on, right? So we'll clear datum here momentarily, and then jump back to the carrier, and that'll show you how to deposit your stuff. Yeah, it's not nearly as dark as in here as I was afraid. It's not so bad actually. And
that gas giant though, it's just barely there.
Yeah. I hear him. There he is. Yeah, the shovel's not in a hurry.
I just want to look at the limpets. Cute little buggers.
Yeah, we're about to leave him behind.
They look so cute just hanging around there. They're not even facing the right direction.
Yeah, they are a bit nuts. There we go. All right. And here we go.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Okay, so wait, why can't I? Oh, we're still going into frame shift here. All right, that's better. So let's find the carrier. It's out here somewhere. Around 4. There we are.
Ooh, a low temp diamonds hotspot is out here too.
Yeah. If you want to try your blowing up asteroids, that's the place to do it. There it is. All right. Head over that way.
Tritium's a helium isotope, isn't it?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered it was something that started with an H.
No. Hydrogen. It's a hydrogen isotope, not helium.
It's something that starts with an H.
Hydrogen, deuterium, and then tritium. And the reason tritium's important is it fuses at a lower temperature. Still, millions of degrees, but still. I think the science fiction idea is that the carrier's engines need to generate a great deal of power quickly, an enormous amount of power quickly, and tritium's the way to do it.
Just dump a couple 100 gallons of deuterium off in the tanks.
Yeah, just go get a couple of singularities.
You see how well that works off in Trek. I mean, geez, you guys are going all the time, yeah.
It's definitely an interesting effect.
It is.
Ardent Citadel X3KW2Z.
Everybody needs a number.
Ah.
I appreciate that. That's a good boy. Oh, wow. Yeah. Came up astern of the carrier.
Welcome, Commander. Just so you know, access screening is in effect.
That engine nozzle sure does look warm and inviting.
I'll take the warm part.
Request docking.
Clearance to land granted.
That's denied.
Computer will do the rest.
Really like the way the interior of the Mark II looks. Kind of reminds me of an old Soviet submarine with the weird teal color and the exposed wires.
Landing gear deployed.
That's positive thinking.
Lines up, thrust straight down.
They're still practically upside down in this thing.
Type 6 does that all the time.
Upside down.
Okay.
Landing successful.
So, get some gas. Apparently we scratched the paint someplace. Okay. Carrier services. Yeah, let's go down in there and I'll show it to you. Alright, so here's how you deposit your ill-gotten gains. And again, it's being hidden, but lower left of the carrier services menu is Tritium Depot. And simple enough, you just select donate Tritium. It defaults to all of it. Confirm deposit. There you go. You deposited your Tritium. That goes into the primary tank of the carrier, which only has a capacity of 1,000 units. But there's also a cargo bay in the carrier, which has a much larger capacity, and that's the one we need to kind of fill up, the buffer for us. So I'll be moving stuff into that cargo bay as you deposit it into the Tritium depot. That's in a nutshell. That's the mission. Go fill up the carrier with a fusible hydrogen isotope. All right. Woo.
I could fill it up with fissible uranium isotopes.
I don't think that would have the same effect, although it'd probably make the engines much prettier. Though it's hard to beat that nice, blue glow. All right, good deal.
Excellent work.
Well, thank you, Otis, for helping with that demo.
Mm-hmm.
And then thanks to the Peanut Gallery for being around. And I think I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off at this point. This was exactly what I wanted to accomplish. Get out there and demo, and that'll leave plenty of time to go to sleep.
Okay.
So, excellent stuff. All right, take care, everybody. Signing off.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.